I'll say this, that I did one thing that I'm very proud of, is that I accumulated about 20 sections of land, and I don't owe anybody a penny. And I have a couple hundred cows here that I still have retained, and I have the alfalfa farm in North Clarendon that I still retain. And I've been able to give the rest of my property to my children. Now, I had my oldest boy, well, he passed away when he was 30. He got sick when he was 28. He was the best young cowboy that I ever knew. Boy, he could ride you pitching horses, and he could ride into a bunch of calves and pick up both hind feet, maybe 50, and never miss a week. He was great, and I had him running the ranch over there north of town when he got sick. Gosh, he was doing good jobs I could. But what I want to say is that I did come out without owing the bank a penny, and I still don't owe a penny.
Very few people can make that claim.
I know that, and even though people assured me I was going to starve to death as a cowboy, I proved that you could do it.
Right. Well, what was it that instilled that type of thought in your head that you were not going to be a slave to the bank?
Well, I knew, I was taught that by my family. They came up here with nothing, and boy, they didn't do anything until they had 1,000 acres here and paid for, and then Dad bought a farm up at Farwell, a section farm. And it was a good farm, and at one time he intended to move up there, and we decided he bought this, and we didn't move. And so Dad eventually sold that place, and he sold it way too quick, but that was all right. And because he was paying for this and got this all paid for. And then they didn't want any more. Heck, it was just time to make money, but they had seen everybody lose everything they had through the 30s. Now, the Depression was, people cannot imagine. My dad in 1934, I believe it was, they closed all the banks. And then this one he'd done business with opened back up. And Dad went to the bank and talked to his banker for the next year's deal. And he said, George, we do not have any money. And he said, people that owe us money, that will pay us, said, you don't owe us anything. And they said, we have got to loan them that money to try to get the bank back on its feet. And Dad understood it, and he told me, he said, well, I need $100. He said, that's all it'll take. I've got to buy cotton seed. And he said, I can't give it to you. And Dad said, well, I've always paid you every year. And he said, the banker said, I'll tell you what, George, we're having a bank board meeting this afternoon. And I'll bring this up with them and we'll all talk about it and I'll see what I'll do. And said, don't you leave town. You come by about 4 o'clock. We'll probably be through. So Dad went back by there and he said, George, I got your $100. And I didn't get it from the bank, but every member on the board has given you $10. And that's the way they loaned him the $100. And he made a good crop. That would be the 35 crop, and he made a good crop in 35. And he had done a little better in 34 than he'd been doing, and it held him out. And it was right just 4 harvests. So that's the reason he didn't have any seeds, see. And then he made a good crop in 35, what we thought was great, because we'd been seeing nothing over a quarter at the most, quarter of a bale to the acre, dry land, as much as anybody had made in about 5 years. And he made a nice crop, and he had bought a tractor, and he had farmed a whole bunch of land. He was farming about, I think, 400 acres of cotton with that tractor. Might have been a little, might have been 5. Huh?
Right around the Clarendon area?
Well, right here. He lived on this place, and then he farmed a bunch of this land that they're farming out here. And so he made a good crop in 35, and it brought about 6-8 cents a pound. So it still didn't make any money, but he had a living. And yet, I don't know that he went to the bank that year. He may have. And in 36, he made another good crop, better, maybe better. And the cotton prices went up to about 11 cents. And he started paying for everything. And that's when he bought this place.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history there, and of two different kinds of agriculture. And I'll say this: after I was back here, we dug irrigation wells. He came out of retirement, and we both farmed. Because any year I had to make some money. And we had to prove our cotton yield about a year, I think, before I quit farming. And we didn't know this, and I went over there the next year doing something, but we had to prove 3 years of yield. And we didn't farm anywhere but this place. And they told me, and they had it over there, that we had the highest proven cotton yield from here to Big Springs, Texas. And the last year I farmed here, I made 3 bales to the acre on 68 acres right down here in this flat. And that's before we had this high-powered cotton seed or anything else. And so I was proud of that from my dad. It was good that he knew that before he died. Because we knew we had done pretty well, but we didn't have any idea we beat anybody much, except maybe neighbors around a little.
Right.
But that fellow told me, the head of the deal over at AFC, that we had the highest proven cotton. But I got out just right, because when I left, well, Dad rented the place out. He didn't want to farm anymore. And then the boll weevil moved in here, see, and that just about put everybody out of business here. And they went through about 8 or 9 years. By gosh, they weren't getting anything. And I think the year I moved down here, cotton was bringing 18 cents a pound. The year before, I was still living in Clarendon, but it was the year I was leaving. I think that's when it was. And that's what most of these farmers got for their cotton that year. And it looked like cotton was going to go clear out. And I really thought so, and I'd always fed cottonseed cake, and I've always thought it was the best cow feed there was ever invented. But they were making some feed out of this. They were making pellets at Hereford out of this feed that I can't remember the name of it. It's what they're still feeding, only they're feeding it in bulk to the feedlots. That's nearly all of the bulk they feed now is that stuff that they're. What are they making out of? Is it alcohol or
brewer's yeast?
Brewer's yeast, yeah. That's what they're making out of it, and boy, I wondered a bunch of cows here on that brewer's yeast, and they wintered awfully well. But I still prefer the cottonseed cake for the type of grass I have.
Yeah, makes a difference.
It has oil in it, and it also has a lot of phosphorus.
Okay.
And it's nearly impossible to beat.